Welcome back to part 3 of rebuilding the Mustang. Today we're going to go ahead and paint this part. But before we do that, I want to show you guys that the sealer dried up. It looks very nice.
Alright, here it is. The sealer is nice and dry. I can go ahead and scuff it down, get it ready for paint. The paint store told me that it's going to take a couple hours to get the paint ready, so in the meantime, I'm going to scuff this down, and also I will replace these brackets right here. Alright, I went ahead and took this bracket off. Looking on this side, this bracket actually looks good. It might need a little bit of adjustment, but that is no big deal. It looks pretty straight, so I'm probably not going to replace this one. Alright guys, so I finally picked up the paint from the paint store. This thing right here, they just match it to the paint color, but yeah, I got some plastic paper, and now I'm gonna go ahead and cover up the car and I can go ahead and start painting. Alright guys, so the paint finally cured. It looks really good, nice and dry. So now I'm going to go ahead and start throwing the parts on. Alright guys, the fenders are mounted on. Here's the gap on this side. Here's the gap on this side. It looks really good. Now I'm going to go ahead and mount the headlights, and then I'm going to test fit the bumper. Alright guys, check this thing out. Look at the bumper, how good it sits. I'm missing this bracket right here, so I'll have to buy that later and I'll install that later. But look at these gaps. I mean, this thing looks really good.
Now that the gaps and everything align really good, I'm going to disassemble the bumper and the headlights, and I'm going to put the radiator and condenser fans back inside. Put the good rebar on there. Alright guys, so it is getting pretty late. I'm gonna wrap it up for today and I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, it's next day here. Today I'm gonna go ahead, mount the bumper and put some coolant in the radiator. Alright guys, the bumper is mounted. I went ahead and took it apart completely because I will be taking this car to get painted and I don't want any overspray or anything on the plastics. Also, I didn't put the headlights in because for the same reason, I don't want any overspray or anything on them. But let's check the final gaps right here. Okay, so the gaps look perfect. The bumper might need a little bit more adjustment, but I'm not worried about that because the painter will be taking it off and stuff. Now, let's go ahead and put some coolant in the radiator. Now I have to bleed the system. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a cold start. Alright guys, the coolant is all full. I went ahead and kept the car running for about 30 minutes. It did not overheat, so that's a good sign. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the wheels on and I'm going to take this thing off the frame machine. I'm going to go ahead and put this new wheel on this side. That way I don't have to swap it out later. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take the clamps off. Alright guys, so before I take it to the paint shop, I'm going to give it a nice clean wash. Alright guys, the car is pretty much dry. Let's look at the fender and the hood because they are supposed to be matching color with the car. So I'm about to see if I have to repaint it. Looking at the fender, it looks pretty good except this little spot right here, which can probably be buffed out. The hood overall looks really good. There's a few little scratches, but I think that can be buffed out. So from what it looks like, I'm gonna need the fender and the bumper repainted, maybe blend the door, that way it matches really good. But other than that, the car looks really good all around. There's a couple little things right here, but that can be cleaned up or buffed out, whatever. It's no big deal. The rear end looks really good. Everything looks really clean. Alright guys, so in a couple days I'll be taking it to paint, but that's going to be it for today's video. And if you like my videos, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at RebuildWithNick. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.